Tomorrow, the House of Lords will be voting on the government's policing crime, sentencing and courts bill. This is a controversial bill that many have argued represents a grave threat to civil liberties. I'm joined now by Claire Fox, also known as Baroness Fox of Buckley, who will be speaking in the Lords tomorrow about this very bill. Claire, thank you for joining me today. Now, of course, the government is trying to clamp down on certain forms of protest. Isn't this just in the wake of Insulate Britain and all the trouble that they caused? I mean, you can see why something needs to be done.
I do understand that there's a real popular and public frustration at the very nihilistic forms of protest deployed by the likes of Extinction Rebellion. But sort something out. The amendments that the government originally brought into this bill to basically ban our right to protest were to do with giving the police more power to stop protests based on a noise trigger. Now, I don't know if you've ever come across any Extinction Rebellions, but they can actually be quite quiet.
I've been at one. I would not to participate, but I've been at one to report, and they're very civilised.
Exactly.
Actually.
So the issue is not noise. So why have they introduced that noise trigger? And that noise trigger, by the way, is really damaging because it goes to the heart of why you're protesting, which is you have to make your voices heard if you're outside of Parliament or wherever you are. You're trying to make a case, aren't you? So the noise trigger gives the police huge powers, which is very dangerous. And along the way, it says things like that if you go on a protest that is too noisy, you ought to have known it was going to be too noisy, and you can be criminalised for an ought-to-know basis. I mean, this is really draconian and terrible.